not figuratively, not as a storyline talking point. We are talking about a man, a legitimate fighter, a UFC Hall of Famer, a walking mountain of destruction, found motionless backstage with his spine compressed, his eyes rolled back, completely and utterly paralyzed. The beast incarnate. Gone. Just like that. And nobody on that entire roster knows who did it. But here's what's making my blood boil right now. Here's what has me sitting at this desk at 2 in the morning absolutely losing my mind. The same attacker just went after Oba Femi. And if you think that's not going to burn the entire wrestling world to the ground, you haven't been paying attention. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, everything you thought you knew about this storyline is going to be shattered. The identity of this attacker? I have a theory that is going to make your jaw hit the floor. Let's rewind to the night everything changed. It was supposed to be a normal broadcast. Brock Lesnar had been building momentum quietly. You know how the beast operates. He doesn't cut 50 promos. He doesn't shake hands and kiss babies. He shows up, he demolishes, and he leaves. That night, he was backstage, and according to multiple eyewitness accounts from people close to production, he was alone. No Paul Heyman. No entourage. Just Brock Lesnar in a corridor, doing what Brock Lesnar does, existing as the most physically terrifying human being in the building. And then the cameras picked something up. A shadow. A figure dressed in black, moving through the backstage corridor with purpose. Not running. Not panicking. Walking. Calmly, deliberately, with the body language of someone who has done this before, or someone who has been planning this for a very, very long time. The figure rounds the corner, and then the feed cuts. 17 seconds of static. When the cameras come back, Brock Lesnar is on the floor. Not knocked out. Not simply unconscious. Paralyzed. His arms were pinned to his side, his legs completely unresponsive. Medical staff arrived within minutes, and the reports coming out of that building described a man who could not move his lower body at all. The kind of damage you sustain from a targeted, calculated, brutal attack on the spine and the base of the skull. Think about what it takes to bring Brock Lesnar down like that. Think about the size. Think about the strength. Think about the nerve required to look at a 6'3", 286-pound suplex machine and say, yeah, I'm going after that guy. This wasn't a hothead with a score to settle throwing wild punches. This was an execution. A surgical takedown. Someone who knew exactly where to hit, how hard to hit, and how to disappear before anyone could see their face. The locker room went into full panic mode. Veterans who have been in this business for 20, 30 years said they had never seen anything like it. Not like this. Not this cold, not this calculated. And then just when everyone thought the worst had passed, it happened again. Oba Femi. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Oba Femi's trajectory over the last several months, let me paint you a picture, because context is everything here. Oba Femi is not just another guy on the roster. Oba Femi is a generational talent. Standing at 6'5", built like a Greek statue carved out of pure ambition and aggression, this man has been on a warpath that has left bodies scattered from NXT all the way up to the main roster. He carries himself with the energy of someone who knows their destiny, someone who walks into every single building fully convinced that the title, the spotlight, the throne, belongs to him and only him. And here's the thing about Oba Femi that makes this attack so much more significant: he has enemies. Lots of them. People who smiled in his face while building plans to tear him down. People who watched him rise and felt the sickening burn of jealousy turn into something darker, something far more dangerous. He was backstage after a grueling match, still in his gear, sweat still dripping, heart rate still coming down when the attack happened. Witnesses say they heard a sound. A crash. The kind of sound that makes your stomach drop before your brain even processes what it is. By the time people came running, Oba Femi was slumped against the wall, one hand pressed against the back of his neck, his face twisted in a mixture of pain and absolute rage. Unlike Lesnar, Femi was still conscious, still moving, still fighting through it, because that's who he is. But make no mistake, this was meant to put him down. Whoever attacked Oba Femi wasn't playing games. They came with intent to hurt. Security swept the building immediately. Every corridor, every exit, every camera angle was pulled and reviewed within the hour. And what did they find? Nothing. A ghost. Someone who knows this arena better than the production crew. Someone who knows the camera blind spots. Someone who knows the patterns, the routines, the rhythms of a live broadcast, and exactly when to move undetected. That level of knowledge? That's not a random outsider with a grudge. That is someone inside. Someone who has walked those corridors. Someone who has studied this world from the inside out. Now let's talk suspects. Because this is where it gets absolutely unhinged. The internet has been exploding since this story broke. Theories are flying from every direction: Reddit threads with thousands of upvotes, Twitter wars, Discord servers going completely nuclear. And I've read through all of it, because that's what I do for you people. You're welcome. Let me break down the top suspects and then give you my theory, which I promise you, nobody else is talking about. Suspect number 1, a returning legend. The calculated nature of this attack screams experience. This isn't someone who just graduated the PC last month. The precision involved, the ability to take down Brock Lesnar of all people, completely and efficiently, points to someone with decades of in-ring knowledge. Someone who knows the body's pressure points, who understands leverage and force in ways that only a lifetime in professional wrestling can teach you. Now, there are names floating around, names I won't say here because I don't want to blow up someone's reputation without concrete proof, but the Whisper Network is loud right now. There are at least 2 former world champions who have quietly resurfaced in conversations with WWE management in the last 60 days. Both have unfinished business. Both have the physical capability. Both have motive. Suspect number 2, a current roster member with a hidden agenda. This one hurts, because if it's true, it means there has been a wolf living among the sheep this entire time. Someone who has been shaking hands, cutting babyface promos, showing up to appearances, all while plotting something this dark behind closed doors. Think about who had the most to gain from both Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi being taken off the board. Because this isn't random. 2 of the most physically dominant forces on the entire roster, both attacked within weeks of each other? That's not coincidence. That is a power play. Someone is clearing the path. Someone is removing every obstacle between themselves and absolute dominance. That narrows the list considerably. And when I start mentally cross-referencing everyone with the motive, the means, and the knowledge to pull this off without leaving a trace, one name keeps rising to the top in a way that makes my skin crawl. I'm not ready to say it yet, but keep watching. Suspect number 3, someone from outside the company entirely. Hear me out on this one before you scroll to the comments and tell me I'm crazy. The wrestling world is bigger than one promotion. There are people who have operated in different organizations, built up years of resentment towards specific individuals, and now exist in a space where they could theoretically move freely without being immediately recognized by arena security. The fact that this person navigated a live WWE broadcast backstage without anyone IDing them, that actually supports this theory more than it weakens it. If it were a current roster member, the chances of someone seeing them and blowing their cover go up dramatically. A face that doesn't belong backstage on a regular basis? People might see it and think nothing of it. Maybe they're a guest, maybe they're media, maybe they're a sponsor. It's the perfect disguise, being nobody. But here's my theory, and this is what I've been building toward this entire video. What if the attacker isn't motivated by title shots or roster positioning at all? What if this is personal? What if this goes back years before either Lesnar or Femi were in their current positions, to a betrayal so deep, so devastating, that the person carrying it has spent every single day since then constructing this revenge from the ground up? Because here's what nobody is talking about: the connection between Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi isn't just 2 big guys on the roster. There is a thematic through line between them that, when you look at it closely, tells a very specific story. Both men represent a certain archetype, the unstoppable physical force, the embodiment of dominance that operates outside the normal rules of the locker room. Both men have, at various points, made other people feel small, irrelevant, disposable. And somewhere out there, someone who was made to feel exactly that way has decided it's time to collect. This is a ghost story. And the ghost has been here the whole time. The camera blind spots? You don't learn those from a building diagram. You learn those from years of working shows, years of watching production, years of being there and storing every detail away in the back of your mind like ammunition. The surgical precision of the attacks? You don't develop that overnight. That's muscle memory. That's repetition. That's someone who has trained specifically for these moments, targeting these men. The fact that Oba Femi survived, and trust me, he barely survived, those injuries are serious, might actually be the attacker's first mistake. Because Oba Femi is not Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi does not get taken out quietly. Oba Femi wakes up from something like this with fire in his eyes and murder in his heart, and whoever put their hands on him just made the worst decision of their life. The beast is broken. But the king? The king is angry. And when we find out who did this, and we will find out, the fallout is going to be the most explosive thing we have seen in professional wrestling in years. Decades, maybe. I need you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment below with your top suspect. One name. That's it. Just one name. Because I want to see what this community is thinking, and I want to read every single one of your theories. And share this video because your friends who think they know wrestling need to see this. They need to be in this conversation. The mystery attacker is still out there, and nobody is safe. Ring Rumble 1, we don't stop until we get answers.